All right, good morning. We're going to continue drawing using our flash skills today. We're going to build on them. We're going to work on creating a flying butterfly. This flying butterfly is going to have flapping wings, and we're going to be able to create that using like symbols. Similar to what we just did with our windmill assignment, you're going to create a symbol that's going to have continuous motion in the background of your animation. In addition to that, we're going to create a simple pan and zoom effect, which will add like some creativity and some depth to our animation. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is we need to draw a butterfly. Actually, we're going to even start simpler than that. We just want to draw a butterfly wing. And so if you're not feeling comfortable with that, you can go to Internet or you can go to Google Chrome or Firefox and choose a butterfly. You can see I actually chose this one already. It's simple, and it's going to give me a good outline for a wing. So I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to go back to Flash. And the first thing I want to do, just like it says in the directions in Schoology, is I'm going to go to Insert, New Symbol, and I'm going to call this new symbol Wing. Okay, once I've created that new symbol, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste the wing, or I guess in this case, I'm actually pasting the whole butterfly on my animation. On my symbol. Now, I don't want to get those two confused, so I'm going to name this. This is my sample, right? And I'm going to go ahead and insert a layer, and I'm going to call this like traced wing. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pencil tool, okay, and I'm going to pick a color. I've already kind of chosen the color. I like this light pink for the wing. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to trace. Back to my properties really quick. My stroke is nice and thick. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to trace right through here. I'm going to try and follow that inside line. You need to let go. You can. I know it's a little challenging without a drawing tablet, but we got to work with what we have right now. Let's see, I'm almost around. I'm going to I'll come back and fix that in a second. So there's that. This is always and then I'm going to grab my pencil tool. And actually, I want to take a second and trace the outside line too, because I like that. I like how the border of this one that I found online isn't just a single uniform line. It's thicker in places, adds like a little texture. So again, if you like lose the line slightly, it's not the end of the world. Always come back and fix that. You definitely want to make sure that these two parts overlap. And then I'm just going to trace the body up. There we go. And again, I can just grab my selection tool. And in general, that's going to be just fine. There. So let's see. If I grab my fill color, oops, don't want to do that. I'm going to fill the outside. Now I know I've got my wing. In fact, I see a couple of spots there where it got lost. So I'm just going to get rid of the sample now. I don't need that anymore. I've got my wing. And I can use my selection tool if I have like a little piece that's kind of like hanging out there. I can get rid of that. That's going to make my, I might not want to do that. That might make my final animation look better. And then I need a fill color for the inside. So I'm just going to grab this nice light yellow. At least that's what I like. You're welcome to make your butterfly purple or any color you want. And there you go. There's my wing. So that's the first thing that I need to do. After I've created that symbol, I'm going to go back to scene one. Don't panic. It's right here in your library. Okay? So then in the instructions, it says we're going to insert a new symbol, and the second symbol is going to be called wing flapping. I'm going to hit OK. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my wing that I just drew back onto my screen. And it says that what we need to do next is we're going to grab this free transform tool, and I want to move this center button. So a lot of you guys have seen this center button and come into contact with it already. We're going to move it right here to the edge of our wing. This is going to be the point of our wing that's going to flap from. Now that we've moved that there, I'm going to go to my transform panel. Now, if you don't see this, no problem. Go to Window and go to Transform, and it'll pop right up. Okay? And I'm going to go to Skew, and I'm going to, at keyframe 1, right? So notice where I keyframe 1, I'm going to change the skew to -45. Now, you could probably choose any number, so you could play around with a couple of different options, but I like between 30 and 45. I feel like gives it a good, like, obvious flapping motion. At keyframe 10, notice I inserted a keyframe down here at 10. I'm on my wing flapping symbol. I'm going to change this to 45, and then I'm going to insert a keyframe one more time at 20, and that's going to be -45 again. All right, so I've got a keyframe at 1, which is -45. I've got a keyframe at 10, which is +45, and I've got a keyframe at 20, which is -45. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a classic tween, and that's going to make it, give it like that flapping look. All right, once I'm done with that, go back to scene 1. So we're doing pretty well now. The last thing is we're going to create the butterfly. So I'm going to insert a new symbol, and I'm going to call this layer butterfly. And on this layer, the first thing I'm going to need to do is I need to draw the body of my butterfly. So I'm going to just grab the color black, and I'm going to create a body for him. You might want to grab the pencil tool. Maybe you'll give him some earbuds. And I can actually grab that, copy it, and paste it. Control C, Control V. And watch this. I'm just going to modify, transform, flip horizontal. And then I've got the exact same thing. It tells me where it's lined up height-wise. I can just kind of slide it right in there. And I might actually take this one and slide it in slightly further. Oh, that might have been too far. There we go. And there's my butterfly body. So now that I've drawn the body, right, and remember we're on our butterfly layer, now I'm going to go back to my library and I'm going to grab my wing flapping layer, my wing flapping symbol, right? This is the one we were just working on where, again, like we had the wing flapping. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so I can see the whole thing. I think I like the idea of the body being a little bit smaller than the wing. Okay, and then I'm just going to simply attach the wing to the body. Okay, when I'm happy with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this and paste it, right? Control C, Control V. Okay, now I've got a second wing. We want these wings to be exactly the same, so I'm going to go to Modify, Transform, and Flip Horizontal. Okay, it doesn't matter if you did the right wing or the left wing first. Okay, what matters is that they're symmetrical. Okay, so let's just take a look. We can always make adjustments at what that looks like. So I've got my butterfly. I'm going to just drag him onto the screen. I'm going to make him quite a bit smaller now that I'm done with him. Let's just see what he looks like. Control test scene. All right, so that looks all right, but it looks a little funky right there. So I'm going to just double click on him really quickly. And I have the opportunity, I'm just going to rotate the wings slightly. it looks like it's a little bit better attached. Move this one up so it's at the same spot. There we go. Now let's go back to scene one. We'll go to control test scene. And then that looks quite a bit better. You still might even decide, like I might actually decide if I want to go back in there again. I might actually even move the wings up a little bit. And I kind of forgot how many clicks I took. So there we go. It tells me that it's even. I go back to scene one. And there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. It looks pretty good to me. Right? And we can always like rotate our butterfly and it'll look like it's flying in different directions. Okay? So that's great. So now we've got our butterfly. Let's go ahead and the last thing we want to do is we need to create a scene. The next thing we need to do is we need to create a scene for the butterfly. So this is going to involve some drawing tools. And so I'm just going to really quickly draw out a scene for my butterfly. I'm going to start with my rectangle tool, and I'm just going to no line. I'm going to draw a sky. The sky's going to pretty much take up my whole stage. There we go. And then I'll just go ahead. And then I'll just go ahead and I'll just switch this over. And I'll pick a grass color. I can grass. And I can always just put a little bit of like something like that down here at the bottom. Make sure that they match up. My grass layer. And then I drew a couple of things earlier. I put a path on here. So maybe I'll set that up again. I'm just gonna do something like that. Might even move it down a little bit. And then I drew a lake. Just throw a lake out there. Just anything to, make it look a little spiffier. Let's do, I drew a tree stump. Let's do this tree stump here. And that's going to be, stretch it up so it gets to the top. And then I drew another tree stump, which I think I'll have right here. Just have it actually match up right there in my pathway. Then I drew some leaves. So the leaves I can just, it's a little big, but I can just these leaves out here. And I'll just copy and paste them using the Control C, Control V. Notice I'm just kind of doing all of this on one layer. Make that one a little bit smaller. I might grab my selection tool. And then let's put some, like, the trees are kind of ugly. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw these leaves everywhere. Probably if I was taking more time, I would take some time to like rotate these. Like leafed out here. And I also have some brown leaves. So let's just take a second. a little redundant, so if you're feeling like comfortable with this aspect of it, you can always fast forward the video slightly into something that's a little bit more meaningful, a little bit more meaningful for you. Smaller. Or you can always just, I'm just copying and pasting these out. Again, it's kind of nice just to be able to like add a little bit of texture to your animation. I think like the one other thing that this is missing that I like is I put everything else in here. I'm gonna put a light post in really quick. I'm just gonna draw it over here. Paste it. We've got two like right next to each other. My all these directions. Just again, nothing fancy here. I'm like literally just trying to speed through this. But I want to show you guys that it's important to like just add texture and like detail where possible. It really like makes a big difference with your final animation. And so, and it does not take that long. It's just a matter of just taking a little bit of time. We want to color in all of our symbols. At that point, I think I'm just going to take this whole thing. So let's see what that looks like. Way too big. Let's shrink it down. And let's modify. Convert it to a symbol, right? We'll call it light post. And it'll pop up right there. You can even come back here, and you know the one thing I don't like about it is my stroke height is too much. There, that looks so much better. So I'm going to take that one. Let's go right here. And then since it's a little bit closer, we wanted to include one more, might be overkill. Okay. All right. So let's be done with that. I'm going to call this background. And so we've created the scene. And I mean, I did that all on one layer. Let's, I did it all on one layer, but you know you can use multiple layers. It just kind of depends. And you can see I drew a lot of things as symbols first, and then deleted them from my stage so that I could just drag them in as I got going. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I need to create a motion guide for the butterfly. And I think actually what I want to do, one thing really fast, I got all of this highlighted. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to convert this to a symbol too. I'm going to call it, let's call it panning scene. Okay. I'm going to hit OK. And it's there, so I'm just going to delete that. Okay, so here's my panning scene when I'm ready for it. Right, I can bring that right back out here. So right now I don't need that. I want to create a motion guide for my butterfly. So we're on the third step on the instructions on Schoology, and let's go ahead and let's insert a new symbol. We're going to call this animated butterfly. All right, and on this layer, I'm just going to take my butterfly and drag it out here. I'm going to shrink it down to a size that I'm going to be happy with for that animation, maybe like that big. And I'm going to have its pathway be just like kind of a oval, where it's going to fly like this. Let's go. Sorry, let's go back 1 second. Add the classic motion guide. It's a good first step. Grab the oval tool. Kind of a long tutorial, so bound to have something go wrong. There's that. Okay, so now on this, we're gonna just right here, we're just gonna create a classic tween. My butterfly will snap to the bottom to the line. Start out going down, and again, you could have like a little bit of a pathway, but I mean, just about as soon like you have like a very nice simple path, and then let's do it 100. Let's have it be 100 frames long. Insert a frame on both layers so that you can see it all. And on the butterfly layer, we're going to insert a keyframe. We're going to move them up here. Now, just like your airplane, you're going to need to take a second. And you're going to need to make sure that he's rotating correctly. So we want to keep him, insert a keyframe. We want to keep him on that line, on that pathway that we just created for him. Insert a keyframe. At some point, he's going to catch that which way he's supposed to go. But it hasn't happened yet. So we'll keep on working with him. There we go. So now you can see he's kind of following the line. Right here, I might insert a keyframe. Make sure that he's really following that line. Maybe one more. Doesn't need to be too scientific here. We're just really trying to get it to follow the line. And I think that's going to be good. Okay. So again, if I just wanted to see what that looks like, I've got my guy, he's off the screen right now. Let's go back to scene 1. And I think we're ready to do this. So we're going to put our background in, okay, which is going to be our panning scene. And just going to go ahead, let's hold down shift. Let's actually do this. Let's start it here. So it's touching the left side. I might actually even shrink this down a little further. And I'm going to just, even though I typically don't like to do this, I'm going to stretch my scene out just the slightest bit. Probably should have drawn it a little bit bigger. And this is how I'm going to create my pan, right? So at keyframe 1, it's going to start here. At keyframe 100, insert a keyframe. I'm going to have it come to this side of the screen. Remember to make sure, right, that it's always, that there's no white from your stage showing, right? So that's going to kind of slide that way. And then let's insert a layer. It's going to be our butterfly. And we're going to bring our animated butterfly in. We'll have to be a little strategic here. let's start him right there. And insert a frame at 100. That's good. Let's see what that looks like. Control, testing. Look at that. There's our butterfly on a panning scene. So I'm pretty happy with how that looks. You have one other option for what you can do here. So remember that at keyframe 1, we probably want it to stay put. At keyframe 100, right, we had our background move a little bit. We can also have it zoom in. So if I wanted to, I can enlarge this, right? Watch now. This would be the whole scene, zooming in and panning at the same time. Now, I might say that that was like a little fast, so I'm going to just send it back here a little bit. Control testing. There you go. So that's pretty much, we just created the panning scene and the zooming in and out effect, right? Your goal is to just kind of like add as much depth and texture to your final animation as possible. You want to make sure that you're showing that the flying butterfly, make sure it's got those flapping wings, make sure that your scene is panning one direction or another, right? And make sure that it's zooming in and out. I hope you guys had fun. It's pretty cool that you guys are learning all of these Flash skills. I know that it's getting a little bit more complex, but as it gets more complex, it should get a little bit more fun too. And I'm guessing that you'll be a little bit more proud of your final products. All right, that's it. Thanks.